What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy. I know it's been a minute since I've actually made a longer video, and if you've been following this channel for a minute, you will know that I've been putting out a lot of Destiny Rising content, and I have been honestly playing Destiny Rising most days, if not every day since it came out. This has taken over and become my main game, which is really crazy for me to say because I've never played a gacha game before. I've never played a mobile game this seriously in my adult life. Back when I was younger, yeah, but like right now with like responsibilities, yeah, no, I have not played any mobile games like this, and I mostly play it on PC, but I still do actually pick up my phone and play this game sometimes. So, and I played Destiny. I've been a fan of the Destiny franchise for, the entirety of its existence, the whole 10 years. I did the whole service run. So playing Destiny Rising, of course, I'm going to come at this with a different approach. I'm already familiar with the way that the world works, what the gameplay loop is going to look like from any kind of looter shooter that you're going to play, especially one that's Destiny or in the Destiny universe. So when it came to this blog post, I almost made this video, and it's really crazy that they did this, but I was literally about to make this video yesterday, and I was like, maybe they'll address it in the next update because we have a new season coming out. We have a new character coming. Maru's going to be coming soon. So maybe they're going to address the whole Pinnacle Energy system thing, and they'll make it better in that next update, right? A Bungie level kind of fix, you cause the problem, then you fix it later, and then, oh, yay, look, they fixed it. But here they go talking about it in this blog post, and this couldn't be any further from what I expected. Any further. This is actually pretty ridiculous, and I'm kind of pissed about it. I'm not going to lie. So the Pinnacle Energy system, they say right here, given that Pinnacle Energy is one of the cornerstones of the game's mechanics, any changes must be carefully considered and tested. Because of that, we can't make any quick fundamental changes in the short term, but rest assured, this is something the dev team has been continuously thinking about and discussing in depth, searching for the best solution. So why are we choosing to talk about it now? That's because we think that we found a solution that's worth a try. We believe this new solution will let players enjoy all Destiny Rising has to offer with greater freedom and fewer restrictions, and provide a more enjoyable looter shooter experience, while still maintaining the balance between players of different time investment levels. We're aiming to introduce this new plan to all Lightbearers early next year as part of our first major update. In the lead up to that, we'll be sharing more information as well as gathering more feedback from our community. Stay tuned. So you first read this early next year. This is coming out. It is November the 5th. Next year is but a couple of sleeps away. You're going to close your eyes and wake up and it's going to be New Year's. We're talking early next year. You're thinking January? No, check out the roadmap. We have the roadmap down here. Here's the major system update. It is in March for the major system update. And this is something as simple in my eyes. I know this could be completely just out of band with what's actually going on behind the scenes and how they're being monetized and how they're, doing financially and how the player investment looks. But I really feel like this is a problem that could be solved quite easily just by either increasing the cap, like the overall bank that you can charge up. So if you do want to take a break, you can stack that up and have a really good long session. So going from 360 to 720, or just make it to where you get like 50% more, give an extra 60 just for a short term kind of relief. But to do nothing is wild. It's just absolutely wild. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. You can't just go in behind the scenes and make the number go up just a little bit more, just so you can say, hey, we know you need a little bit more of this currency and we know you want to play this a little bit more. We're working on a solution. We may have to change it in the future, but for now, as we're going into the holiday season, here's just something to hold you over, just to make it a little bit easier for you. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. And I really do not think, like I said, the player numbers, they're not looking the greatest, but the Destiny IP isn't really making everybody, jump up for joy right now. There's a lot of bad news going around Destiny, so not a lot of people are going to, play this just for that very reason alone. And there's not really a lot of good hype around gachas either. Pretty much anybody that's playing a gacha game knows exactly what they're doing, know exactly why it's there and why it's designed that way, and know that they do not recommend that to a lot of people. And, it's built to just drain your wallets and your time. And if it doesn't drain your time enough, then it doesn't push you to making that purchase to make your time worth a little more. And that's the full system. But looking at these player number drops, we're talking over, we released in August, I believe. Yeah, we released in August. We're sitting here at November. We don't have complete accurate numbers here. This is coming from activeplayer.io. They usually do this. Okay, last updated November 3rd. For the overall trends right here, they have that updated monthly. So this last one was updated October the 10th. So they're also, along with this new update that they're doing for Maru and everything, they're going to be doing a server merge. So we're going to have all of these people. As you can see, the iOS players are just lapping the Google Play players, which is weird because I don't know if this is being counted as Mumu players as well, because when you use Mumu, it takes you through an Android, pretty much an Android setup. It's an Android emulator, like you have a tablet, and then you play the game that way. So I don't know if that's counting those numbers as well, but either way, we're going to merge these two like player groups, and it's going to make the game feel a whole lot fuller. It's going to make it seem more active. And I'm not even going to say that the game feels dead. Every time I jump into the tower, every time I jump into Haven, there's always guardians around. There's always people out there fishing. There's always people out in the public areas doing patrol zones and doing, you know, the things that you need to do to level up, the minor things. Like, imagine in Destiny terms, you walk out there and you see people out here farming, you know, public events, and you think, okay, it's a group of blueberries. They may not know what they're doing. Every time you get on DestinyRising, you know that there's people that know what they're doing. You know that they're there for a goal. Everybody's trying to get the materials that they need to upgrade. There's always a reason to circle back. And this is what I'm saying about the game, is that it's very well designed to keep you very engaged with multiple aspects of the game. And that keeps it feeling fresh for you. So they really don't have to convince many people to play this game daily. I've been playing it, like I said, mostly daily, but I can only play for as much Pinnacle energy that I have. So for the working man, yeah, that's great. For me as a content creator, yeah, that's great, because I have to take the time to make videos and make content, and I can't play it at the same time that I'm doing all of that. I don't know. This feels like a very, very bad move. This feels very dumb. There's going to be a lot of free time floating around that we have going on with holidays. There's going to be a lot of people available, and, you know, young kids, teenagers, whatever, kids out of school. Everybody's going to be around that will want to play this game. This is going to be their time to do it. And if they really take the time to invest into it, then they're going to want to play it more. And if they feel that restriction, that initial knee jerk of, oh, I can't play what I want to play, I can't grind the way I want to grind, then they're going to be less likely to stick around, and we're going to just watch this game teeter off. And I would really hate for it to do that. I keep saying it repeatedly. If this game launched on consoles today, if it launched on consoles just as it is, it would blow it out the water. It would do so well. And that's console and PC. If it was just on regular platforms in general, just like Genshin Impact, if it was just on regular platforms, this would do numbers. It would do numbers, because it's very well made. It uses the Destiny IP well. It keeps the universe alive in a way that feels more like Destiny than whatever the fuck Renegades is about to be. Because Renegades just feels like we're out in space just BSing. Like, I don't know. I'm not really a fan of Star Wars stuff in the first place, but Renegades just looks like we defeated the Witness, and now we just don't know what the heck we're doing with ourselves. We're just having a blast out in space, just yeehaw, here goes, you know, this person, and oh, the 9 has a problem, but I mean, it's just the 9. We already took out the Witness, so let's just go be space renegades for a second. Like, I don't know, man. It just doesn't sit right with me that they're making this kind of move. Whoever is controlling the steering wheel over at Netease for DestinyRising, if you see this, I just want you to look at these player numbers. Look at these player numbers, cross-reference that again with how much money you're making, because you're obviously making this decision for money, saying that Pinnacle Energy is a cornerstone to the way that activities are. It's about the money. It's about how much can they inconvenience you. And right now, I think that setting is turned up near the max. I don't think it's at the max. It could definitely be worse. I'm sure they had it at less, but they can easily, I just really feel like you can easily just increase how much we get on a daily. It can't be that crazy. I mean, come on, dude. Come on. This is ridiculous. But as we're, you know, just talking about this issue, let's just jump into the game real quick. I'm going to show you where I'm at in the game, and we're just going to understand. I'm going to paint the picture for you as to why this is a problem and why it's an annoyance. So Hold on one second. So to break it down for you, the onboarding process of this game is very well designed. It's going to hold your hand through every single thing that you're doing in the game. It's going to tell you how to use characters, how to do the tutorials for characters, how to learn how to fight certain enemy types, how to do all the activities, and how to use certain resources in order to make yourself stronger. It's still confusing and it's a lot of information, but the game does the absolute best that it can to teach you what to do, and it gives you the freedom of the entire campaign to figure that stuff out. You're going to be given challenges all along the way that helps you grow in both your knowledge and in your character power and the amount of resources and types of loot that you can get. Now, after you get through the story and you get to level 80 and all your characters are starting to hit that upper echelon of power, your next chase is going to be your acclaim. And your acclaim is important because when you use your acclaim bonuses, you'll get all kinds of essentially perks that make your farming much more efficient. You'll get loot to drop at higher percentage chances. You'll be able to use extra Iron Commander slots. You can use more than just 1 token a day. You can upgrade it up to 3. You can do all kinds of things, increase mod drops, more legendary rewards. All of it is extremely useful stuff. So whenever you want to grow this acclaim, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to complete these challenges for these medals. The medals you get from the characters, and all the characters have their own set of challenges. So as you progress your way through these medals, you're going to hit your first hard stop, which is hit 63,500 power on a character. This is not the easiest thing to do at all. So whenever you're looking at your character power, let's just get out of here, go to characters. You can click right over here, check out everything that you need for them, right? So it's going to tell you exactly what kinds of items that you need to increase your character's power, increase their weapons, increase their abilities and their relic. And then of course the artifact, all the things that you need for the artifact. The worst part of trying to grind this is getting the exotics. That's the hardest thing to get, as it should be. I'm not arguing with that. Where I have a problem is where these artifacts and these exotic items come from. So for instance, if you have weapons, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get exotic weapons. You're going to want to use those exotic weapons. They have a higher power at base than any of the mythics. It's just how fast can you increase the power of those exotic weapons over a mythic weapon. So when you go to raise your exotic weapons, you're going to need this material here. It's called a metastable core. And you can see that this comes from Grandmaster activities. Okay, cool. I'll go over and I'll do Grandmaster activities, right? You'll see your first problem. You need to be 6,400 or 64,000 power at minimum. All right, that's not a challenge that I can handle right now. Thankfully, I am in the point where I'm needing to handle this challenge because I need to upgrade my characters to the next tier. So if I want to do this, here's my next problem. There's only limited characters that you can use for these Grandmaster activities, and they all have to be minimum 64,000 power. And then once you do, because you saw that I had an Estella, I'd already used her this week. Well, I'd used her for one of the other weeks. Once you use them, they have these little charges. It's done. It's just done for the week. You cannot use them again. So you may have one character ready to go. You can't continuously farm this activity. Even though I have 12 keys, there's nothing that I can do to farm this because I have no eligible characters. It literally will not let me do it. So I can't even try to brute force my way through it under light, which would be terrible on whoever else will be on my team, but you just don't even have that option. Same thing with Gauntlet Blitz. If you don't have the characters for it, you're cooked. And if you do have a character for it, you're probably at least have one, then you're going to use them and you're only going to be able to use them once. Their charge is going to be depleted and then you're out. You're done until this next reset or whatever it is. I think this is on a weekly timer, right? So you're done until then. Let's move on to the next big offense, right? And that's the artifact. The artifact is where you're going to feel your next really, really big struggle, because all the characters, as you go through their relic abilities, they're going to need, let me find somebody that's under leveled. Who do I have? Let's do, so my Ningfei, for example, he is actually one of the last mythics that I was able to draw, and I didn't get him until recently, so he is very far behind, even though he's such a good character. Now, I need not only incandescent clusters, so that way I can finish upgrading his relic abilities, I also need more elemental fruits, so that way I can upgrade his weapon mastery. And then even furthermore, if I want to start upgrading his artifact, I'm going to need to go and farm for exotic artifacts and increase his actual artifact power with these nodes here. Each one of these nodes need more elemental fruits and another exotic item called the artifactual cluster. And where am I going to find all these? Thankfully, they all come from the same group of activities, and that's going to be in the 9. But say, for example, this right here, the artifactual cluster, the one that you're really going to need when you're trying to get past that 63,500 power cap, it's going to be over here in the Expanse. The Expanse is extremely difficult. It is extremely difficult. This is the first time that I had to like sit up straight in this game. So yes, as you're going through the Expanse, you're going to, in order to get as many of these drops as you possibly can for these artifactual clusters, you're gonna have to go all the way through Origin and get into the treasure hall. And in the treasure hall is where you're gonna be able to get more artifactual clusters. Otherwise, you're only gonna be locked at the, what is this, 2? 5. You only get 5 on a weekly rotation. 5. And if you saw those clusters, you need 6 to complete an entire cluster in the artifact section. So this is another thing that kind of holds you up, because you're going to need to spend a lot of your Pinnacle energy just trying to challenge this. So you're going back and forth, you finish out everything you can do in the Expanse, so you're like, man, all right, what do I do next? You go over to Singularity Chaos and you start farming specifically for the types of artifacts that you want to get exotic drops for, and you're farming for upgrade materials for your mods and for your artifacts, because you can get elemental fruits from it. Well, you see it and you see that it's 10 Pinnacle energy per run. Doesn't seem that bad, right? That's not actually how that works at all. What you're doing is you're spending 10 Pinnacle energy per chest, and it'll get to the point where you're getting 3 chests after each stage completion, and you get 3 opportunities to pull chests, and you can do this entire run in like 10 minutes. So essentially you're spending 90 Pinnacle energy in 10 minutes. If not more so if you're using your overclock capacitors to get double rewards. And your little 120 that you've charged up for the day, gone in an instant. Even if you've charged it up for a couple of days, it could be done in about 30 minutes. And now you're stuck waiting for more Pinnacle energy to come back, so that way you can start getting back to finally grinding your character's light level and getting them to the point where they can do difficult things like Grandmaster activities. That's still not even mentioning that the only place you can get incandescent clusters is from Calamity Ops. And Calamity Ops, you only get a limited number of drops per week, and then the rest of the time you're fighting to get your cycle score up, so that way as you go through your promotional ranks, you'll get better rewards. And you'll see here, as you go through these ranks, you'll get more and more drops. But if you want a shot at scoring more points, you're going to have to make your character a whole lot stronger, and make sure that your character even matches what you need it to do for that week and fit in with your team, or hope that you get paired with somebody that has the right character and knows how to use that character to optimize this out. But I don't know, man. I just feel like this whole decision just is based out of greed. Like, I'm not in those rooms. I'm not having those conversations with the executives, and I'm not seeing what those numbers look like. But I really just think from the perspective of somebody that is making content on this game, that is actively promoting how good this game can be and how fun it is, and who is actively invested in how the gameplay loop works and wants to see it through, then you have to help me keep doing that, so I can show people what they want to see out of this game, what this game has to offer. Give them something, you know, a visual example of what their grind is going to lead to, because the people who are going to spend money to make the grind shorter, they're going to do that regardless. It doesn't matter. They will do that one way or another. It can't be just strictly because of the potential profit loss that we can't have more Pinnacle energy on a day-by-day basis. That's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos, I do make DestinyRising content. I make guides as shorts on this channel too. I do have a character guide coming out for Estella very soon. It's been a minute since I've done a character guide, and I do want to apologize for that. I made a post on socials and everything, but essentially I have started what is the beginning of my dream career. So my schedule has changed a lot in the background, so I haven't been streaming at all. I haven't been able to make as much long form content, but hopefully this kind of more casual approach to things is cool with you guys. If you like it, give a like on this video. Let me know in the comments below. I'll start doing more like this, because I want to be able to get back in front of you guys more. It's just the ability of editing that I have, the time that I have to edit has gone down significantly, as I've been just grinding away over here trying to just work and do and provide for my family. So, you know, that's all from me though, you guys. I'm not going to complain. I'm in a very good position. I'm very glad that I can still kind of do this on the side and you know, be able to put more love into the art. But thank you once again for spending the time that you do with me anyway. I appreciate your viewership. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for as long as you do, and I hope to see you in the next one. So until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.